When running your business, your success will obviously depend on whatever edge you have against your competitors. This is what is referred to as competitive advantage. But how do you position your business to achieve this? Well, in this video, we look at that. The primary determinant of your business performance, according to the market-based view theory of competitive advantage, depends on industry you are in and external market orientation. Structure, conduct, performance, or simply put, SCP model is one such model that can help you orient yourself to get the best out of the market you are in. In other words, your business financial performance is caused by the competitive conduct of players in the industry. The conduct itself is in turn caused by the industry structure. The first question you have to ask yourself is, what market structure do I exist in? Is it perfect competition, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, or monopoly? If you're looking at these and regretting why you skipped economics classes, well, let me simplify it so that you don't have to feel guilty. When trying to analyze your market structure, you need to look at the following three things. Number one, number of firms in the market. Don't just say there are 100 businesses, because that is not really the point here. Supposing I ask you, how many search engines are you aware of? You're probably going to tell me Google and then stop there. Okay, maybe you say Yahoo and Bing. So if you are to join that industry, which firms are you going to be up against? I mean, you only mentioned three, right? But there are a number of them. So why did you mention those three? I'm guessing it's because of the market share they have, right? Google has a larger market share, and therefore, if you're going to compete, then you better just look at whatever it is that they're doing. So the point here is to know who you are up against, okay, in terms of market share. Another example is if you want to market your product in video form, where do you go? Well, you will use YouTube, right? I mean, assuming you can run a YouTube channel. Oh, and that reminds me, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? YouTube is the biggest search engine for videos, and yet there are other players. So what strategy are you going to use here? Well, most people will tell you, I'm going to look for a big market and then just get 1% of, say, $1 billion industry, right? Nope. The strategy for you is to look for a small market and take over it completely, as opposed to trying to find a percentage of a big market. Because as appealing as that is, the reality is you're going to really have to compete. The second thing you have to be aware of is how easy it is for you to get into that market or to get out of that market. In short, barriers to exit or barriers to entry. Entry barriers can occur in two ways. Number one, we have real barriers. Okay, these are barriers like capital required. Imagine you want to start a petrol station or a shipping industry or an aviation farm. The capital needed is going to be intensive, right? And the second entry barrier is going to be artificial barriers. So these barriers are things like legislation, patent, copyright issues. I mean, for instance, you could be having a lovely product idea, only to find out that another company owns the patent to the design or even the manufacturing right of that product are controlled by the government. So either way, look at the entry barriers, because if the market is hard to get into, it also means that once you're in there, then you're safe, okay? As opposed to the kind of market where it's easy to get into, like a restaurant business. Not that there is anything wrong with that kind of a market, but the problem is you're really going to have to compete, okay? So you don't want to do that. Now, the other thing you also have to look at are the exit barriers. Well, this is simple, right? How easy will it be for you to get out of that market, assuming the market is crashing? So this often will depend on how invested you are in that market. The third structure that will affect your business performance is nature of product. Do other businesses produce similar products or not? You have to think of what will make people buy your products, okay? Which really isn't the problem if you're a monopoly, or rather if you're monopolizing the market. Hence the first idea, okay, look for a small market and then dominate it. Is it easy? Something else that you need to ask yourself. Is it easy to copy your products? Is it easy to copy what your product does? These are some of the questions that you're going to have to answer. So putting those three together will give you a degree of control over things like price and other policies. For instance, when YouTube decided to make changes on their policies, they knew that they weren't going to be affected as much. Why? Because they pretty much dominate the market, okay? Things would have gone wrong if they were just another video search engine competing with, whatever. The point is, don't try to compete. I mean, competition is good, but in your case, you really want to dominate. So now that you have your market structure, remember, the structure will affect your business conduct. So think of how people buy from you or check your website. The point is, things like price, services are all part of behavior that are dependent upon the structure. So at this point, when analyzing the conduct, you can also look at what other businesses are doing, okay? Which strategy are they using? Are they just copying each other? The next thing you want to assess is your performance. So things like return on capital employed, return on investment, which are pretty much a reflection of your business performance, will depend on your business conduct. So again, I'll repeat that, okay? Your structure will determine your business behavior, and that is going to determine business performance. In conclusion, your business's strategic position is defined by how it performs similar activities to other firms, but in a very different way. Now, let me know what you think. Let me know whichever questions you have, and don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, share, and obviously, if you have any question, let me know. I'll see you in the next lesson.